A team examines survey charts, adds features, and still watches launches stall with no clear explanation. With data, stage gates, and skilled analysts, they have everything, yet results feel like a coin flip. The deeper issue is that numbers often describe patterns without revealing the cause behind customer choices. When teams focus on product attributes and demographics, they miss the progress a person is trying to make. This mistake leads to expensive experiments, as each new idea is tested without a clear why. A better approach begins by asking what situation triggered the action and what outcome the person needed. In a meeting room, this sounds simple, but the real work is mapping the struggle in context. It means noticing trade-offs, emotions, and social pressure that quietly decide whether something gets hired again. Next, we will build a practical lens for finding jobs, designing experiences, and aligning teams around them. This video is inspired by Competing Against Luck by Clayton Christensen. Subscribe for more predictable innovation thinking. A job is a means of progress, and it only makes sense within a specific context. Context shapes priorities, so the same person might hire different solutions on different days. Ignoring context leads to designing for averages, which doesn't fit anyone particularly well. When you consider emotional and social dimensions, you understand why switching feels risky, even with better performance. A purchase moment might appear decisive, but true commitment is shown when the item is used repeatedly. When something sits unused after purchase, it was hired for one occasion but failed the everyday test of use. This lens replaces guesswork by searching for causality, not just correlation, behind people's choices. It also broadens competition, as the real rival is any alternative that can deliver the same progress. Start by writing the circumstance in plain language, then list the functional, emotional, and social outcomes desired. Then test your wording by asking whether two people in that situation would recognize the struggle immediately. To uncover a job, simply observe what people do and ask why they do it. By comparing hires and competitors, you can identify the progress being sought, as the chosen solution reveals the desired outcome. When you frame the job correctly, you stop improving random features and start focusing on what truly matters in that moment. This clarity prevents a product from trying to satisfy incompatible needs, which usually results in mediocrity. Morning commuters bought a thick milkshake alone to make a boring drive feel more engaging. Later, a parent with a child chose the same milkshake as a small permission to say yes. These are different jobs with different competitors, so the right improvements depend on the situation. Once you see that, customer demographics stop being the main signal, as the job transcends profiles. To find your own jobs, observe when people improvise workarounds or accept inconvenience, as no good option exists. Then interview around the moment, asking what they tried before, what failed, and what finally worked. A switch occurs only when the push of the current situation becomes painful enough to demand change. It also requires pull, meaning the new solution must make progress feel easier, safer, or more rewarding. Most teams focus on pull, but often wonder why adoption is slow when people seem interested. They underestimate habits and anxiety, which can outweigh a better offer when change feels uncertain. Someone might keep an old phone for years, not because it is ideal, but because it is familiar. A new service can reduce anxiety by creating visible reassurance, like a physical place that signals legitimacy. This demonstrates why jobs include emotions and social risk, not just functional performance and price. A good design plan should name the anxieties up front, then build steps that remove them at the right time. List the habits you are asking people to drop, then decide what proof would make switching feel safe. If you want more tools for removing friction and earning real adoption, subscribe for the next breakdown. Jobs often hide in plain sight, especially where people face barriers to progress and accept frustration as normal. The process involves identifying struggle and crafting a narrative that explains the true progress someone seeks. When you view these moments as clues, innovation becomes less about novelty and more about enabling something important. This also highlights non-consumption, where people hire nothing because existing options do the job poorly. A home builder attracted many visitors, yet few made purchases, because the real job was not being adequately served. Staff knew product details, but lacked a compelling story to turn a curious visitor into someone ready to move. Job hunting works when teams stop searching for perfect segments and start searching for repeating struggles. It uses the same customer research tools, but asks different questions about trade-offs, obstacles and desired progress. Choose one area with low conversion, then follow the full journey from first consideration to final choice. Document each compromise people make, then test which one signals the core job you must solve. Finding a job is only the start because solutions truly win when they deliver the right experiences, not just features. The process involves writing a job specification that captures trade-offs, obstacles, and the full set of competitors to beat. Without such a specification, teams guess, and even advanced products miss hidden anxieties that block repeated use. When the experience fits, it becomes hard to copy because operations, training, and design all reinforce one another. A tax filing team once chased long feature lists until they refocused on the simple job of getting taxes done. That shift redirected creativity from polishing screens to removing work customers never wanted to do. The same discipline applies to listening, since what people hire and fire reveals motivations they cannot explain well. Teams act like investigators, assembling the timeline of struggle, instead of trusting what surveys claim people prefer. Translate the job into a short statement, then define the must-have experiences for purchase, setup, and ongoing use. Then give the job a voice inside the company, so daily decisions serve it without constant micromanagement. When the unit of analysis is the job, not the product category or customer type, innovation becomes predictable. The goal is to help people make progress in real circumstances, not just optimize for spreadsheets that obscure causality. By defining jobs as progress, mapping circumstances, and respecting functional, emotional, and social forces, you can make informed choices. You also learned about the 4 forces and how habits and anxiety can block change even when solutions appear better. In job hunting, you identify non-consumption and workarounds, then craft narratives that reveal what must be enabled. With job specifications and experience design, you transform insights into offerings that are repeatedly hired and earn loyalty. Start now by selecting one stalled initiative and rewriting it around the progress customers seek in a clear circumstance. Interview around recent switches, asking what was fired, what anxiety remained, and what finally made the new choice feel safe. When the job remains visible, teams stop chasing luck and start building repeatable growth through clear cause and effect. If building innovation on real progress feels worth practicing, subscribe for more frameworks that guide daily decisions.